Next job on the list is going to be getting pumpkins for an order. Usually at this point of the day, I'd be setting up the farm market, but this guy is coming for his pumpkins at like noon and it's already 10:30. So I want to make sure we have them there before he gets here. Just make sure they're pretty nice. Try not to touch them all muddy, like just touch the clean side, just because they're wet and they'll get all smeary. Although it looks like there's a lot of pumpkins out here yet, and there's not a lot that's like really nice that's for sale. Like either they have shriveled up stems, they have spots on them, which this one's actually pretty nice. This one's kind of cool because it's got like little warts on it. But we're going through basically now and just cleaning everything that's anywhat good. Like we're not gonna take it if it has stuff like that. Obviously if it looks like that. So we just finished up. This one is for the order, 1 of 3, and then this one is just for Scranton Farmers Market. We'll take next week. Still getting some really nice pumpkins, but I mean, we should with how many's left out here. I just got out here to the market. Just got a little assortment of everything. Some sweet corn, peppers, broccoli, Brussels, tomatoes, the last of the zucchini for the season, cabbage, potatoes, and jalapeno in that last box. This is what the market looks like now that me and the guys have been filling it back up with all the pumpkins and just all the fall decor. The only thing we're low on is white pumpkins, and we're not picking those no more. But everything else is full, about as full as it could possibly get. People will mostly buy pumpkins now, but they will buy pumpkins even after Halloween just to decorate for Thanksgiving. Some make pumpkin pie out of them, just whatever. And then we're all out of mums. The zinnia patch is now done, sadly. Like it is done. Well, there is a couple that have a little bit of color left in them yet, but the leaves are just brown as brown could be. So now next thing we'll do is bring the mower out, chop these off, get that plastic up, and just let it sit then until the spring when we're ready to plant the zinnias again. Unless we decided to plant tulips this fall, which it is fall, it'd actually be right now, but I don't think I'm gonna have time to do that. So I'm just doing a quick check over all the pipe before I start this irrigation up. Certain things just make it better, like putting a rock underneath where it's hanging up in the air. It's not so much pressure on the pipe, hopefully it won't bend it. I had a pile of rocks here from the last time we irrigated. Try and maybe fix this up here again. Yeah, something like that, that's pretty good. And maybe I'll do, oh, here's my other pile right here. And then out through here, I'm just gonna walk along and make sure the pipes or the rainbirds aren't leaning one way or the other too hard. This one out here is leaning a little bit. It is getting windy, but this is gonna be the last time we irrigate. You know, you always hate to waste water, but I'd rather waste a little bit of water in the wind than not water it at all and let the plant suffer. So I'm up here at the pump, getting the water primed from the pond up to the pump, and then I can start it up. And that's when the water will go through here into that white pipe, not the first one, but the second one, go underneath the ground, and then surface down by the field. I need to give some choke. that that's started up, I'm gonna ride down and check out the field. It almost takes no pressure at the pump because it's all downhill, so it doesn't take a lot. But what I'm really nervous about is, since we had the pipe ends open for a little while, that a mouse might have went in and made a nest, and that could clog up our rain birds. So I won't actually be surprised if that does happen, but fingers crossed that it doesn't. So far, so good from what I'm seeing. So this is obviously the field that we're irrigating. Right here is where it services back out of the ground. And then we have a flex line going to our hard pipe, and the hard pipe goes to the field. We try and take pressure off of the pipe anywhere we can. That way, it's not a lot of pressure on the pipe coming out of the ground, the PVC. I'm basically just gonna walk this and see what we got going on here. From what I see, I don't see any clogs yet, but a lot of time they'll happen right at the end. Wow, did we get lucky there? Oh, I think the end one is clogged, which that's not bad at all. Let's see what we can do here. It's barely trickling out. I don't have a good feeling about this. Well, I got it. Now she can water. I cannot believe there wasn't more problems than that. That was lucky. So it's going on around 6:30. The irrigation has been running for around 4 hours, or just over 4 hours. And as you can see, it is laying wet there in between the rows, which is good. That's what we want. Should have soaked in really well. And now, finally, right here towards the tail end of the day, the wind has really died down. So it's getting the whole entire field perfectly, even though it kind of was, even when it was windy. The main thing we're concerned about is we want to make sure we get the cabbage. The cauliflower is going to be just fine. The broccoli is just fine. But the cabbage was just a little bit small, and we wanted to get that to size up a little bit. And so I'll check on it again tomorrow. But as of right now, I think I'm going to shut it down because you can overwater, and I don't want to do that. Today is Sunday. I did not work yesterday on Saturday because I was hunting all day. Sadly, did not get my buck that I was after. And so this morning, usually we don't try and do a lot on Sundays, but because I think my mom told me it's supposed to be frosty again tomorrow on Monday, we got to get all of the cabbage, cauliflower, broccoli, sweet corn stuff picked. That way, when it's frozen in the morning tomorrow, we don't have to try and pick all that stuff, because you really don't want to touch it while it's still frozen and has all that frost on it. Dad's down here now unloading the truck from market on Friday. It's fine to not unload it now right away just because it's so cold out that it's just as cold here as it is in the cooler. We're gonna start off here in the cole crop field with white and purple cauliflower. We put them in these green trays so that when they stack together, it's not putting any weight on top of the cauliflower head, bruising it in any way. So we just cut 15 trays and I barely even put a dent in the cauliflower. You can still see there's just a ton out here. We started at the end and cleaned it, anything that was big up until here. Now the whole rest of the field, which goes down over the hill there, has to be done yet. Next is cabbage, and unlike cauliflower, these can sit on each other, so we'll just stack a whole bin right to the top. Regular round cabbage isn't the only variety we grow. We also grow flat and Savoy, which I'm picking right here. Wow, these are a lot bigger. So now cabbage is done. Got a mixture of flat, Savoy, and regular. Here is the cauliflower, and we're gonna go down one more time yet for broccoli, which we'll put in those orange tubs there, and then that'll be it for the picking for today, or just about it. We might even get a bin of sweet corn, I'm not sure. Well, this should be it, I think.
I think so.
As I back out to Kubota to come down to Dad, he's working on picking kale, putting around 7 to 8 leaves in a bunch. Today is Monday. It's about 32 degrees, but I don't see frost outside. And Dad and I are gonna be loading for the Scranton Farmers Market. So that's gonna require getting everything that we've picked throughout the week that is either outside right here, like squash, potatoes, tomatoes, or peppers and eggplant and other like pickles and cucumbers that are in the cooler to get packed onto pallets and loaded onto the truck. As you can see, cooler's pretty full. We've been just doing a lot of picking because of the frost and just for this morning. So this is all purple cauliflower and white cauliflower, cabbage, peppers back there, and then just more peppers here, dill, just a little assortment of everything. So we've been loading now for about an hour. You can see how much emptier now the cooler is. A couple things to go yet, but not many. And then out here, Dad's been putting skids on while I've been packing skids. Here's a whole bin of sweet corn, cabbage. The skid is not actually completely full of peppers. There's another skid there of assortment of peppers and tomatoes. Here's a skid of 50-pound bagged white potatoes. And then he's got 4 more skids on here of, like you've seen already, all cauliflower. Here's potatoes and squash. And then here is big bins of pumpkins, sugar pumpkins, blue Hubbard, orange Hubbard, stackers, just everything like that. By the time we're done, this will probably be filled all the way to the back. One more skid to go, and then we'll be full. The rest we'll just put with baskets of half bushel potatoes in here. We're gonna put 2 more bags of red potatoes on here since these are all white. And then we had to double stack a bin of cabbage, so that way we can get all of our broccoli and extra cauliflower and collard greens on there. So the truck is just about loaded. Dad went to go just get his lunch around, everything he needs for the day. I came up here to grab one last thing, which is gonna be Brussels sprouts. I picked these one other time before, and besides that, my parents have picked them a couple times. You can see this middle row is the variety that's on right now. We've cleaned them just about all the way up to this point right here. This variety here, we've learned that we're never gonna plant it again. They are just not near as tall. The Brussels sprouts are a lot tinier, and down on the underneath, you can see how rotten they are. So I don't really know what happened, but what we might end up doing is cutting them off like right here. That way somebody can enjoy the rest of these smaller ones up top. This variety here is a little bit better, but still nothing like these ones in this row. You can see over here just how much nicer they are. The Brussels sprouts are more spaced out, they're a larger size, and they're pretty good all the way to the top. And so, like I said, that's why these are the ones I'm harvesting today. Pretty simple. I got my cutters. We'll go right at the base, flip it off. Next one. This one's a little bit small, let that one go. So I'll grab this guy here. This guy. Next step, putting them down and just taking the leaves and ripping them off in like a sideways motion. If you rip them up or down, you're gonna risk busting that Brussels sprout off of there because the leaf grows right underneath of it. And if you haven't been following along with my channel all summer, you'll know that these would have also done a lot better if we would have had some rain. Like this one here, for some reason, out of all these, this one went bad, so I'll just pop that guy off because it just makes the rest of them look bad. And then I'll just keep doing that until I'm done. Pretty simple and easy. And then when the customers get them home, they can just pop those Brussels sprouts off, throw them in a pan, do whatever they want to do with them, and eat them however they cook them, or raw, I guess, if you want to.